It's we in the streets with it. These YouTube streets, let's build it. Content after content. We on the block. Lego. And as a daily reminder, hit that like and subscribe so you can get the vibes, you know it, and notified every time. Let ride. It's sweet. It's sweet TV.
On 285, I keep riding in the circle. The inside of my ride smelling like a pound of purple.
Man, ain't no way.
Hey, go.
Showtime.
Go.
Get the lights up.
5 more minutes on a cold orange juice, cause I'm really tripping. Ice, bitch, I'm smashing out.
12 niggas, they go undercover. Had to hit the on the suckers. I don't play about my bread and butter. 100 rats in this Louis luggage.
We back, man. Part 3 of hopefully live for the day, y'all. We gonna go ahead and finish phone call. I thought it was over, but seems like the defense attorneys have more footage to run past the judge to see if they're gonna get all this evidence and get right into it. If you didn't already, hit that like button by double tapping the screen as soon as you come into the live stream, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. We're gonna get right to it. Let's go.
So we have both those issues, and I just don't think that the explanation that the state gave really addressed either of them for this call.
Okay. So is all of the discussion about the money, that's, what is that? Is that everything in the past?
So far, y'all, it's
yes, Your Honor. Garlington is
let's be honest.
is discussing how much money they gave him for, I believe, on in a prior case.
So it's his own first-hand knowledge.
You would think by all the people that went out so super bad by talking over the phones,
Correct.
people won't still be doing it.
B Slime McMahon, and B Slime gave me McMahon gave me 500.
And how is them discussing that,
So
furthering the conspiracy?
yes, Your Honor. So the narrative of past events can be in furtherance if it serves some present purpose. So the state's position is him discussing 2 other, who the state believes or YSL gang members paying for his bond,
Right.
fosters some cohesiveness. He's talking with Mr. Wright, who is to the state's understanding, an allied gang of 30 deep, which Garlington, Mr. Copeland, and defendant Stillwell, the state sets forth, used to be a part of, and then it kind of became part of YSL. All that aside, that's the state's argument, is that him discussing this, of the money they gave him, fosters a present purpose of cohesiveness.
Cohesiveness with the allied gang?
Yes, Your Honor. Because the speaker, Garlington, he has to be a part of the same conspiracy as who it's held against. Position is that YSL member.
Hop in the whip. Y'all, we ride with me.
That's the
Slide
state's.
with me, man. We in Georgia with it. Fulton County with it.
Yes, Your Honor.
The biggest trial.
And
The biggest trial that's going on right now,
then
man.
is there any argument on Hill?
And we about to listen to phone calls. Lord have mercy. God bless the street niggas, man.
Anything beyond relevance on that?
Got to be more careful. You can like this stream by double tap screen. You can like this stream double tapping your screen. I appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and get the vibes. Make sure you have all notifications on so you can get the notification every time we go live. Court proceedings in Fulton County, Georgia.
Section about state related. What their interest in this call is the fact that Shell Kell, in the argument they just made, Shell Kell's name just keeps getting brought up. Well, okay. I mean, even if that's true, his name keeps getting brought up, and even if to them that has some sort of relevance to the overall story they're trying to tell, we don't have a declarant at this point that is testifying. And I don't, there's no exception. I'm not trying to be smart, but to my understanding, there's no exception to the hearsay rule that, the state just gets to say, well, we think it's interesting that someone's name gets brought up a lot, so we want to admit it. I don't see how it falls under 801D 2E or anything else. It's just he's talking about past events as I understand it. I have no idea if he's talking about past events he has personal knowledge of. My guess would be he probably doesn't, but that's speculation. So I just don't see how any of this is admissible. I guess I'm just keep going back to the fallback position. I'm
We
arguing
knew the defense wasn't
exclude
gonna like this
things,
phone call.
but
This
the
phone
fallback
call
position is
not
we're
help
talking about
defense
testimony here.
in
We're
no
talking
type of way.
about the state
Let's
playing
be honest.
tape wiretap, and to me that requires them to jump through extra hoops, including how it falls.
And I take it all back. I take it all back. Everything I said in this life. This is a wiretap. It do different when you think you on a damn, it hit different when you think you on a secure line, don't it? So that does explain a lot why I was talking so loosely. So that we got to look at it like it's a hot wire. They on the phone, on a tap phone. They own a tap phone. So this is the play the live. I don't want to hold y'all too long. Knowing that these phones are in the jail, who do y'all think gave these people on, man? Let's not forget, bro was bragging about how he on the flow. He got the whole flow to himself. Da 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 this, da 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 that. Because they want him to do this and they want him so he can talk on this hot wire. Let's go. Get lights up.
Falls under a hearsay exception, and you're just not doing.
And how is this part of this conversation in furtherance of the conspiracy?
Your Honor, the notes I have is Garlington, someone else who's not Mr. Wright, not Mr. Garlington, is tripping with Kel stuff. And then Mr. Wright says, home with them, plural. But he's like, oh yeah, I got whoever gets him. And he says, tripping. And he says, and then Garlington says they got him, talking about the same male, in a car. They just seen the boy with him. Talking about this male he's tripping with the Shell Kell stuff because they think he's in a car with him. So it's the fact that they are concerned or discussing someone associating with Shell Kell that the state feels is relevant. I think there also is an argument here in terms of, because the state is not going to be articulating who this person is, there's a non-hearsay argument in terms of it's the fact that they're concerned someone's riding around with Shell Kell. And in terms of the truth of the matter asserted,
spit it out. Come on, man.
Of is Holmes riding around with Shell Kell or not is not why the state's introducing it. It wants to show the jury how they're freely discussing someone who is possibly riding around with someone that they consider a rival gang member. That's the which in my mind falls under both, but almost is more applicable as non-hearsay because the state's not going to be arguing or so this person actually is with Shell Kell or the way they're talking about that.
But, All right, so they're
Come on
letting
with
you
it. Come on with it,
know
bro.
that,
Like,
so here's this person, Holmes or whatever, that you need to be on the alert. He's hanging with Shell Kell is this basically the,
From what they're saying, Your Honor.
all right. I think that would pass the 801, whatever it is, D2E.
I'm talking about been like this all day, y'all. She don't want to be here.
Three go together.
I on the lunch will make her feel better, but she's
PDF page number 3200, 3202,
low energy.
3206, which are reference numbers 3171, 3172, and 3177. They're all right. The first one is at 7:33 p.m. The second one is 5,
right,
and
y'all
the
ready to
third
get
one
to
is
it? We gonna skip
7:41 p.m.
Ready
So
to
they're
get
in a
to it.
span.
Damn, I keep jumping the gun. I'm sorry, y'all.
Man, I'm tripping. No,
And
Every
so
time I do
how is
that.
this part of this conversation furtherance of the conspiracy?
So, Your Honor, the notes I have is Garlington. He says Holmes talking
Oh,
about
no,
someone
I
else,
literally-
not Mr. Garlington, is definitely of 8 minutes.
All right, yeah.
The reason I wanted to give this backstory is because they all kind of play with one another.
Let me y'all
I'm
8
going
minutes.
to,
8 minutes, y'all.
I don't know the
Didn't take
position
too
on these
long.
calls, but I wanted to
Then I'm gonna
play
get my
them
we
back
at the
to
end.
back to back. They're quite short. And then
All right, well, is there going to be objection? Yes.
Of course, there's gonna be objection.
Its relevance and they appear, I think a fading of it is, it appears to be Demekion Garlington involved in general criminality.
Can I say it?
the state is going to play PDF page 3200.
3,200 pages is crazy. That's crazy, man. We know it's more. All right, I'm going on mute.
hello. You got a slider? What is that? They call it. What, man? I'm tripping. No, that's what we looking for one now. Damn. Where the hell you at? Right here with the op. You with the who?
Man, what? Hold up. Damn. Hold on, Shawty. Wait a minute, man. I mean, I heard a slamming nigga out, but God damn, hold on, man. What are we listening to right now, yo? What are we listening to right now? Shawty that app for a little slider, man. He need one. He said he right there with the op, man. I mean, that cutthroat business, man. We got to get to it. We got to get to it, man. We got to get through it.
Yeah, I'm with him, buddy. You know I ain't gonna talk on no phone. Oh, for real? Yeah, at the West End. At the West End? Yeah. Damn, man. Hey. And ain't got no car. Your girl just pulled out in the car. For real? Yeah, that whole peanut just pulled out. Damn, who out there with him? Nobody up there by himself. You got something on him? No, I don't know. I just came up here gambling. But he got your wrong. Alright, let me call you right back. Alright.
Your Honor, we're going to play 3202.
Got to be more careful, man. You can't make this up.
Where you at, bro?
What's up? Oh, I just came to the house. I was on the block.
Man, got to shut it down. We got to slow it down, man. I'm talking about the same like the goddamn, the slider can't get no sleep, man. Little Slider can't get no sleep, man. This about to get crazy, man. These wiretaps, y'all got to know these wiretaps is real. They thinking they talking on secure lines, man. These folk got them folk on the wiretap. And it's like that. If you new to the channel, go ahead, hit that like button for me. Favorite like button by double tapping the screen. We about to get the show
In the streets with it, you dig what I'm saying?
It's We TV. We really in these streets. Official blog of the North, and that's coming from me, the president.
Real talk, what you gonna do when the pressure on? Fans listening, this tap you dead wrong. Real no, talk.
I just had to hear that, man. You know them fed listening is, well, I guess they don't know. They were dead wrong for this conversation.
They got a car, boy, Johnny got down around the way, so he got something on him.
For real?
Yeah, I thought you ran away. I was gonna come pick you up.
I just left from this side.
Shit, man. You
Yeah, I'm from North.
man.
Yeah, they say you ran around with it though.
Yo, I ain't in no slide. I was just gonna got down. I'm finna see how I'm finna do this shit though. I probably need paper tag on.
And just call let me know, man.
Your Honor, the state's going to play 3206.
I can't grow. Hello? Hey, you ain't got no iPhone, like? Yeah, nah. Why you say that? Nah, I've been wanting to talk on the phone. I was finna tell you something
I'm gonna get pieced up. I'm gonna get pieced up on right quick.
they're like FaceTime, cause they on that shit.
I'm gonna FaceTime audio you.
So, Your Honor, the 3200 is the Quella,
But they were
who's
doing
Little Quell, who's the
everything
brother
right.
of DeMarco Boyer, who the state believes is affiliated with Paradise East PDE, an allied gang of YSL, and is in of those the phone records we discussed in August with Boyer. This is his. And so the next call at 3202 is Antonio tattoos and the gun we were discussing, who was a defendant who pled. And so the first call, Little Quill calls Garlington and says he's with the ops, and he's grilled off in the car. Peanut just pulled off. He's talking about a female whose nickname is Peanut. And like, well, who's up there with him? And he says, ask him, does he have something on him? And Little Quill says, I don't know. He has jewelry. I believe they're referring to, does he have a gun? And then 2 minutes later, he calls Antonio Sumlin, another YSL gang member, and he says, and the person they're discussing is named Johnny, who at the time in March 22 was having a public Instagram dispute with Garlington. So they had problems with one another. He says that boy Johnny is around the way. Sorry, my problem. Apologies, Madam Corporal. He says that boy Johnny has something on him. How far out are you? And he says, they say he's riding around with it. And Garlington says, I'm not in a slider. I'm fixing to do this shit though. Paper tag on this mother effort. So what he's referring to is a slider is a car you can quickly go do a crime in. A paper tag, you can't get caught. And then literally was at 7:35, you're on 7:41. He calls back the first gentleman, Little Quill, and he says, do you have an iPhone on you? I got something to tell you, but I can't talk on the phone. FaceTime me because they can't hear. And I believe when he says they, he means the police, law enforcement, can't FaceTime shit. And then I believe, so the state, one, you have two of the three murders in this indictment involve these rental cars. And so the fact that he's talking about in a very short span of time, he gets word that this opposition or someone he's beefing with, and then within a couple minutes, he's calling Antonio Sumlin to help him and referencing getting paper tags and a slider. The state feels this is certainly in furtherance of the co-conspirator for what the state feels are apparent reasons. And that's why the state wanted to address these three together, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna admit those over objection. Yeah,
At least, Your Honor.
yes.
Okay, so the state started Lil Quill is what I got, but last name Boyer, who's the brother of DeMarco Boyer, who's not charged in this case, and who no one really even heard of until 60 days ago. The fact that he's DeMarco Boyer's brother, to me, has no relevance. Mr. Atkins provided some context to this that I wasn't unaware of. I wasn't aware of, but apparently, according to the state, Mr. Garlington, as an individual, was having some sort of social media feud with a man named Johnny. One of Mr. Garlington's friends named Boyer, who is not this gentleman, other than being on this wiretap, is not, to my knowledge, not mentioned anywhere in discovery. Calls Garlington, says, "Hey, I see this person that you're having some beef with, I guess." And then Mr. Garlington lays out his plan on what he's going to do to Mr. Sumlin. Again, I don't know it to be Mr. Sumlin. The state's saying it's Mr. Sumlin. I'm not doubting that. But what I just keep going back to, my client is in jail at this time. There's absolutely no indication that Mr. Williams is in contact with Garlington. Mr. Nichols is in jail at this time. I'm really struggling to figure out how since listening to this call, it appears that Mr. Garlington is planning some sort of crime. I don't know what it is, a robbery or whatever he's planning on some individual he doesn't like. But what this has to do with the, I'm completely lost on, and 401, 403, and then 401 and 403 seem to be major issues that would need to be addressed before these calls are admitted evidence. And so I don't know. I think I concede. Of course, I don't represent this gentleman, but I concede that Mr. Garlington's involved in some criminality through these calls. But that's not really the issue. But it's going to lead to, my concern is a lot of confusion of issues here. And again, there'll be no one to cross-examine about some of these matters. Even when we get to the hearing, sure, I concede that in certain contexts, asking someone to ride with you or to talk through a plan to get at one of your enemies,
Okay, and I see, just so that I let y'all know, we need to circle back on this. I think we all just got a letter from Mr. Arnold's attorney about scheduling, which I have not been able to read, but we need to.
Nard, so he says, Nard just called me 2 days ago, and this is in reference to what's going on in the jail. I can play it, but I just wanted to give that backstory context.
Okay. And so what is this going to be? Trying to get him protection, like a conversation about that? Or what?
Yes, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up my note. Yes, so this 3534 is Garlington speaking with Unfunk, who's Mr. Greer, was a defendant on this case and has pled. And they're discussing, Mr. Greer has spent some time in prison.
I'm saying here talking, y'all can't hear me. My fault.
Capo Frank. And so Garlington calls him, and Mr. Greer says, hey, call him. And he says the mob at 9 Deuce, talking about the mob is also in reference to Good and Deuce, which is part and parcel of the Inglewood family. YFN just jumped on Little Miles, and Garlington's like, for real? This is like when they're first learning about it.
Okay.
And then say, hold on, let me start a 3-way call. And he asked what floor on Rice Street. And then this sets off a cascade of events of get to the bottom of who were these mob members in jail who teamed up with YFN to hurt Miles Farley.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know that I need to hear it. Is there objection to this in anyone voiced or one's voiced about the prior calls about getting protection for Miles and sorting that out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, my ruling would be the same then, so this is admissible.
Yeah, it hit different when that green light on
So
you,
the
man. So
next one
they got
is
all these people piled up in the same jail, and they at
35.
and they know they at war because they got what to the phone, y'all.
It is,
So
Your Honor. And
how we
that
feel
statement
about that?
summary that in the center, I'm going through these in terms of, I didn't bracket them by sub, so to speak. This pertains to the same where they're trying to get a hold
I ain't
of
gonna-
the individual
What
in
a
the
phone
jail to
calls,
help
man.
get to the bottom of what
Crazy.
happened.
Lord have mercy.
I'm sorry, who's he talking to? at this
So
point?
in 3575, Your Honor, he's talking with so I believe he's talking with Finquarius Nard Minder,
Damn, Nard, they got
who
you, bro.
is incarcerated at the time, is also the individual who was rooming with Mark Wavis Huey.
So basically, do the next 4 or 5 all have to do with this, or 6?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you for asking
So
that
they
question,
are
yeah. Because we
relevant. However, can you get that story in without
and then he got a
using
lot of damn. They got
11
a
or
lot of.
12 different?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. I will look at all of these and
Okay.
see how to.
So basically, she just said, "Can you just narrow all these wiretaps? Because he got more wiretaps. Y'all. I thought the 8 minutes we just heard was it. It sounded like they got more wiretaps. These boys been on the phone, and my thing is this: this is the proof that they will listen to you. They will watch you commit these alleged crimes just for what? The build of what? A case?
That through with as
Take a
all
look at the
discussed.
ones, that we already addressed, as well as these next. It looks like at least 6, right? And a few, and just use those and not every, we don't need probably every little detail of all of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Salute the Sin City Routes. I appreciate that share,
Okay.
sis.
So then that would take us
Bit son.
to, well, I guess 30,
769, Your Honor.
looks like it's still the same thing?
So this is a little different.
Okay. What's this one?
So
I'm not gonna hold y'all. If they ain't got,
Okay.
cause I don't too much care to. This is good because we get to see they gotta get. And what's crazy, all the defendants they've been in there getting drugged, but this is good stuff because we get to hear a lot of stuff that will be on record.
I'm finding my notes. He's speaking with.
Right, they trying to get their stuff together for when they
his
had a
name is
jury
Dr.
back
Khalif Adams,
in the courtroom next week.
and
Let's see what
who was
what else. I'm
defended on this indictment. I'm going to pull up my notes.
see if we can speed up real quick and we'll slow it down if needed.
Transcript, I should say. Yes, Your Honor. He is the call taker. He's speaking with Khalif Adams, who's in prison, speaking on a contraband phone.
Okay.
I'm going to play this call for the court.
Y'all pay attention. They know they on jail phones. They see you on the jail phone. And I'm gonna figure out how they doing it though. How they tapping in like this?
Yo,
Yo,
what you do, twin?
what's up?
What you got going?
I just woke up.
Your phone, yeah, your phone ringing. That nigga Newton down there with you. You at Hayes, ain't
It came down
you?
here.
Yeah. He had that kind of.
Oh, they just told me that. It came down here.
They got him on the tail too.
Yeah, I probably been that shit. Playing without shit. Fuck about that
Nah,
shit.
I already told him that. I already told him. I said, bro, got down. You know, he push it unless it comes to him though. You know, I was just in the dorm with him, bro. He gonna go. Like, you know, they was on him on the other shit, like saying he did that, but brain, no.
No, that's it, man. My shit.
Yeah. They were saying that about Shawty, like, I asked you all about the shit, you feel me? Like, no paperwork.
Yeah, you mob niggas in here right now too.
Huh?
There's some mob niggas in the dorm.
You said so many?
It's something about 8 of that. That's shit too much, man.
Yeah, but them niggas a bulk, but for sure. But yeah, Home got down though, like, yeah, he just like, bro, this shit high as fuck now. He told me, bro, I need a tablet. He like, man, tell Hunt, man, I got down. He trying to pay for a tablet.
Yeah, I'm finna see. They put a ring on Monday for these tablets. It's tax squad will come Monday for these tablets.
You say you got what?
I said the tax squad supposed to come Monday for the tablet.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so I'm really finna see how they work, they move money, and I don't know what I can do for his
Yeah. But you over the whole, all what the hell you over here, Hunt?
Huh?
I said, what the hell you over, like, what you over the camp or you over goddamn out?
Well, I'm over certain down a lot of shit.
You talking about? we talking
I haven't talked to a nigga.
What
I've been talking to Twin, man.
Yeah.
I've been talking 10 o'clock at.
Yeah, I stay talking to the clock. Say what?
I talk to clock at him. I've been doing a little bit.
He down there with little. You say he down there with little who?
One of my little brother.
Oh, okay. I ain't saying, man, it be back locked up.
How did that go?
One of them niggas had nigga.
Yeah, but I thought he had that shit.
Nah, he didn't get that.
But yeah, what I was gonna say, I'm gonna pull up on the nigga at the back there. He worked back here. The two other living on. Dawn said,
I had a DM. Hold on, let me see. He in G1 106.
Just like
almost food.
let me educate my young brothers, man, out there real quick. It's that easy, man. You hear me? Man, listen, man. The word to get there before times. You hear me? My folk know what cell block you on. When you live that life, man, you got to check in, man. And 10 ball, y'all. And they showing you in court. This don't wait to be too late, because when they hit home, it's too late. Don't get cased up, put up. I just did a whole string, y'all. They showing the U.S. Justice Department did a whole investigation on the Georgia State prisons, y'all. And let's just be honest, people it out, and now we trying to see, and we kind of see how it's happening, man. They hopping on these phones, and they're done. And I guess it's safe to say they running shit. Y'all heard it, man. Let's go. Hit that like button. Double tap the screen.
I'm gonna tell that nigga
G1 what?
G1. G1.
That easy.
106.
106. Yeah, I'm sending food back there.
Alright.
I'm sending back food back there. He needs hygiene too.
Yeah, you know you probably need all that.
Yeah, I'm sending some of that shit back there.
Alright.
Who that came from, nigga? G1? No fuck all that, nigga.
When he called me, I'm gonna try to call you.
Yeah, I'm up now.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember one, we got you up out of here, but yeah, you got to know. How could I know? I'm not a part of none of this. We just reacting live, man. Be respectful in the comments, and you can make it, but we won't tolerate no disrespect in the comment.
Go ahead.
Call. I'm not sure what specific defense objection portion.
my objection are similar to the ones that.
And
Mr.
some of
Garland
that I ain't
said,
assuming at all.
Mr. Farley's in jail and people are messing with him. So those
This
previously.
shit is documented. Y'all better go search.
Mr. Atkins said that there was subject matter than just that in this call.
So yes, Your Honor. So at the time of this call, I believe he's in Hayes prison, Hayes, if I'm not mistaken. But Khalif Adams, Garlington's calling Khalif Adams and is describing who I believe is John Quavius Hood, a 30 coming to prison, and Mr. Adams is a high-ranking member, and so that's why when Garlington's asking him, "What are you over?" Like just your hell, you're like kind of saying, "I'm over a lot of stuff," and I can get him a tablet, contraband tablet. The price is, and so he's trying to get clarity on when John Quavius Hood is getting to the prison that Mr. Adams is at. And so Garlington and Khalif Adams was indicted on this case. He's an indicted co-conspirator. And so you have Garlington speaking with him of basically how to facilitate helping someone transition to prison or get items that they need. And so easy access between prison and someone on the outside, who's Garlington, and helping either friends of YSL gang members or associates have a smooth transition to prison and set up or squared away, the state believes furthers the conspiracy.
And who is it that they're gonna set up? Who's about to show up at the same prison?
Mr. John Quavius Hood is who the state believes that they're discussing.
So John Quavius Hood is someone that I'm not familiar with that name from this case. I have heard the name before, but not involved in this case, not in this discovery. So again, and Khalif Adams can, claim that he's running things in prison. I would love to ask him some questions about that because that's a pretty easy claim to make. I don't anticipate that he's going to be testifying. So I won't be able to ask those questions, but I don't understand to the extent that we're going beyond the Miles Farley situation, what Demekion Garlington calling Mr. Adams, who's claiming to run the prison that he's at, to get a tablet for John Quavius Hood, has anything to do with any of this.
Okay, how are you establishing Hood being relevant to this?
So, Your Honor, it's twofold. For one, Mr. Hood's, again, this is from listening with and talking through what is being said with AP gang detectives. So the investigators, what's being said, who are these individuals? And so Mr. Hood is affiliated with 30D, is what Demekion Garlington used to be. Okay. And he's speaking with Khalif Adams, who again was an indicted co-conspirator on this case. And so not only is there some level of, in the case law, in terms of someone on the outside with one call speaking to a fellow co-conspirator on the indictment in prison, help, whether you say that he's doing this for his friend or a gang member, that conversation they're having.
All right, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I understand it, but given that this is not even an alleged YSL member, but some affiliated gang, I'm going to exclude that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what's our next one?
The next one, Your Honor, is going to be, so PDF page 4082 falls into the same category in terms of there's two sections we wanted to play about discussing the mob and 9 Dudes on Miles Farley. And then there's also a portion that discusses this song that Garlington had. And so let me get my notes and play that portion because it's different than the jail.
Oh man, now we see why he been quiet all this time. He's the one who been taking all the down.
So I'm going to play, Your Honor, 149 to 250
149
on PDF page 4082.
That's about a minute and some change. Let's hear it. I don't want to skip. I feel like every time I skip forward on the video, I end up going back. So we gonna play it. Let's see what he got. It's
Yeah,
deep.
I really been like, oh,
Phone.
fuck with that studio. Yeah, I've been fucking around with. I really need to. I feel like same shit, really. Like I need to happen on songs and shit. Right? I got a co-song by myself, but that. Man, we got me and Cole got down. We got the little song. Man, these folks fucking with this motherfucker. We ain't dropped it yet, but we really gotta we gotta redo the shit. So we got.
Yo,
I went.
you said who else on it with you?
Look, Cole, my cousin, they got that.
That been hard.
That motherfucker too hard. Them folks, add dot back that motherfucker.
I'm gonna add that microphone. Damn, man.
So you're on this specific portion is not is this exercise with the wiretap started was specifically for a non-hearsay purpose.
Yeah.
And it is multiple calls where Garlington is discussing song he made where there's like two versions referencing and probably dissing Shell Kel, and so he keeps got to take his name out of it. So this is one of those. The state wasn't going to play multiple of those calls. So this specific portion is for the way that Garlington is cognizant of what is in a song that's publicly released and how that can impact law enforcement.
And
Because
see,
the
I said
general
all
theme,
the
I don't have
time,
on the top of my
man.
head the other calls where he mentions this. I have them in my notes, but
I
not
knew.
readily accessible.
Pause real quick. I knew it was gonna be a problem with drill music when they started paying. Like, don't y'all get it? They pay these rappers M's, y'all, or the labels, or they give them advances, knowing the lifestyle they live, knowing they probably ain't gonna make it but a few years, but they know what they doing because at the end of the day, that's more bodies in prison for them. They know this music is driving the goddamn these kids to go out here and commit these what you call them, thinking they gonna be the next big star. And we just seen it in the Young Dolph case with Justin Johnson, man. He thought he was gonna be a rapper, failed attempt. Now look at him.
He says stuff along the lines of something happens to him. So he's like, we got to redo the song. We got to take his name out of it so that it's not as overt, clear in case something happens to him. And so that was the purpose of why the state wanted to introduce this. Whether he made a song or not made the song, I do not know. But the fact that he's discussing and aware of, don't say too much, like he wants to, but not too, because he can get in trouble if something happens.
So are we going, is this call off the sheet? Because I'm seeing on the screen it said 4062. On this it says 4082. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
You're correct, Mr. Sharp. It's reference number 4046, PDF page 4082, and there's 1 minute and 49 seconds to 2 minutes and 50 seconds was this portion. There's references in the Fulton County Jail. But I just played the portion because I want to highlight it's not a it's not a legend.
Maybe it might be my eyes failing me. I thought when I just looked up at the screen, it said we were playing 4062. My eyes are failing me. Good to know. So I don't, again, having to change. We're not talking about Mr. Garlington saying, okay, I'm about to go harm, as I understand it, Mr. Watts, or hey, let's plan to go harm Mr. Watts of explanation given by the state. It's I made a song and I need to take out reference to him. I don't get blamed for it. Not seeing the hearsay link, and certainly I understand that the state or the hearsay exception, and I understand the state saying it's not hearsay, but Mr. Garlington saying I made a song with reference to Kelvin Watts. I don't know how that's not for the truth of the matter asserted. I mean, to make the point the state is trying to make that lyrics need to be changed for it to make any sense to the jurors, they would have to accept the first part of that statement, which is I made a song with Kelvin Watts in it. They would have to accept that for the truth of the matter asserted for any of this to make any sense. So I believe it is hearsay, and it doesn't fall under any exceptions.
Yes, sir.
Not for him change. No. And in terms of this specific clip, he doesn't use.
We have this case where the district attorney gets in front of the press and says, Mr. Williams shouldn't have been putting these things in songs.
Okay, well,
And then-
what the district attorney said in front of the press is not
Well-
come into this trial.
Well,
has it?
they're trying to use lyrics, but then when someone says, well, I
Let's hit
should
his part.
take lyrics out of a song in case something happens, then all of a sudden it's scandalous. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how could
Scandalous.
Mr. Garlington, if it was relevant to anything, how could him saying, maybe I'll not put this song out here in case, not saying, oh, because we're about to do something to this man, in case something happens to this man, which it's not named, and so I don't want to take that away from Mr. Steele's argument. It is not named. who
Good
that
job on
person
the
is.
defense. He
Somehow
made a good
that's
point there. But let's
indicative of
skip
guilt,
let's
too. I
skip
just-
because this
I mean-
live is about.
Yeah, I've been fucking around.
Man, I do it every time, don't I?
I'm not. He says it like definitively. I had to redo it and take his name out of it. So in my mind, the truth of the matter survey would be like Demikion Garlington changed the name and made a new version, but it's the way that he is cognizant of what he's saying.
He might be
and
reaching.
how
He might be
it's
reaching, y'all.
implicated. And part of
Let's hear it
from
for
the state's
ourselves.
position and kind of what Mr. Shar was alluding to is
Ain't no Mike. We know he reaching.
want to get close to the line, but not, you don't want to say like I went to 300 Main Street on May 4th at 2:42 p.m. in a red Corvette and I shot Bob Smith in the head. That's too obvious if you actually did that. So you may say, you may allude to it, but you don't want to be so obvious with it that law enforcement says, well, yeah, we have you on camera in that exact same car at that exact same time. So it's a little bit of a gamesmanship in terms of publicly discredit someone else so that they know what you're talking about, but there's some plausible deniability to them where it's just a reference or a allusion to it. So yes, Your Honor, you may.
You can, okay, there you go.
Fuck with that studio.
Yeah, I've been fucking around. I really just need to feel like same shit, right? Like nigga just hopping on songs and shit. Right? I got a coach song by myself, but hey, me and Cole got down. We got the little song. Man, these folks fucking with this motherfucker. We ain't dropped it yet, but we really gotta we gotta redo the shit so we can got down take the thing.
You know who? You know who?
I went.
You said who else on it with you?
Look, Cole, my cousin, they got that.
It's been hard.
That motherfucker's too hard. Them folks, look, that dog back that motherfucker.
I'm gonna add talk about that motherfucker. Damn, man. I'm ready. You gotta get on me. I got so much shit.
You do?
That's where they cutting it at. Is that it, bro? Come on, man.
All right, I'm gonna admit that.
Of course she gonna admit. She been admitting everything today.
So, Your Honor, the next call is reference number 4635, PDF page 472. Garlington speaking with Mr. Copeland.
Lil Woody. But they got Lil Woody so tied in into this ridiculous, man.
Hello. Yeah, I can hardly hear you. What you
Yep, that Woody.
I mean, I was just gonna ask, is the summary of it, that's essentially what it says? The
Well, she ain't gonna want to hear none of it. Watch.
So,
consciousness of guilt, what?
so it's a number of things. One, Mr. Copeland is telling you better be careful on social media because talking about Mr. Sledge and Rico about it. This jail call, not jail call, this wiretap call was April 23rd.
What?
Other call to get on
hold on, y'all. Hold on. Goddamn. Wait a minute now. So basically that means that Woody basically was telling them folk that he done talked to folk and that the Rico was coming. How y'all feel about that? The people that say Woody been telling Woody been doing all that. It just came out, y'all. I don't know if y'all was listening. Woody is, I guess we about to hear it, is telling these folk the Rico coming. Let's go.
Where he's basically saying this why Copeland is in jail, prison, gang task force, there's some issues in jail. And
But of course he know.
someone says,
He been working for a long time.
basically this YSL stuff is hot. And you gotta fall back. It's actually another thing I'm calling someone, referencing conversation. And so to me, this is a co-conspirator statement that furtherance of the conspiracy because Copeland and Garlington by warning him that, hey, we don't know if it's true or not.
Turn the volume up.
The timing and what they're discussing is pretty close to when this indictment came out. It wasn't 43, but it was 28, but nonetheless, it's him warning him, hey, be careful. That's what Sledge just told him.
Okay. Any objection to this evidentially?
They ain't got nothing to say.
Your Honor,
Okay.
relevance, again, we're talking about two individuals that are not sitting here at trial, and I don't believe that they purport to be speaking on behalf of anyone here at trial, and any motivation. So I believe it's hearsay, but leave it with the court.
Okay. Hearsay. But I think this comes in under the co-conspirator admitted.
The codest, of course, is admitted. We ain't even got to hear it. I knew she was gonna do.
We only have more Mr. Garlington's wiretap, which is rep for 4959,
Told you.
PDF page 5000. And we believe this Mr. Garlington is speaking with the same Mr. Wright we had discussed earlier.
This is October. I'm standing on that. I'm trying to get this trial over with by Thanksgiving, y'all.
And we're going to start seconds and play to 1 minute and 41 seconds.
Okay, well, is it accurately summarized?
Here she go
I
again.
need to know.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the call.
See, so what she doing right now, y'all? Hold on. What she doing right now? She want to know, as long as it's summarized, she don't want to even hear none of this stuff, y'all. She just going to admit it. So we might soon. I don't think she want to hear no more.
I had referenced earlier when we were discussing drug sales.
Okay, is there an objection?
Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. Garlington is selling drugs on his own to fill his own pockets and has nothing to do with my client. Garlington claims that my client, who at the time of this call is in jail, mind you, so it's nothing that's happening as they're speaking.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it seems to me that we've got plenty of evidence here that lots of people in jail have access to phones and social media and what have you. So
Point
that
well
may or
taken.
may not.
Point well taken. All right, so, but he is just basically almost jealously or saying, boy, I wish I could sell drugs on the internet as well as Shannon used to, or as far as I've seen Shannon
At
do.
some unknown time period.
Yeah,
they
right.
have.
And
Okay.
and so, you know, I'm not acknowledging that Shannon was selling drugs in 2022 on the internet, but even if he was, that has nothing to do with what Garlington has going. This is actually proof that Garlington and Shannon aren't some unified drug dealing organization. And so Garlington, yeah, I don't know how Shannon does it, and I would do it, and this is what I would do. I mean, it's hearsay. It's not in furtherance of any conspiracy. It's bad character evidence, and it's irrelevant.
I think this kind of falls into also the category of a declaration against interest in terms of discussing amongst each other their drug sales, how to sets, and he's like, you should try putting it on Instagram. And so in terms of getting through a hearsay objection, the state feels exception to what they're talking about, which is selling Percocet pills, is there's some indicia of reliability because they're making statements that if it was that Mr. Wright and Mr. Garlington is against their interest to be discussing. So they're being, so that's the primary argument is, you know, discussing how to better sell narcotics and talking about their own narcotics and essentially how to boost sales, basically.
The thing
Well,
about
I suspect that Sharp's problem with it is not the two of them discussing the of Mr. Stillwell and his alleged methods for selling illicit drugs.
correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so
The state, so his objective,
I mean,
Well, the declaration, and we litigated this on a different matter, but the state tried to argue declaration against penal interest. The thing about declaration against penal interest is you're allowed to declare things against your own penal interest. What you're not allowed to do is declare things against other people's penal interest.
well, that
and-
doesn't get it in.
Right. And so that's my issue.
So it's essentially, yeah, just kind of gratuitous mention of Mr. Stillwell, like, where's the foundation for,
so Your Honor,
or not the foundation, but the exception that lets that part in
in terms of it being bad character,
and hearsay.
My shit never sell for Instagram, bro.
For real.
Bro, I always post purchase shit. My shit never sell for Instagram.
Man, I do it
That's
every
why I don't
time.
keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Every
okay,
time I hit the
Yeah,
button,
my
I
shit
keep
never
it
sell
going.
for Instagram. Like,
and so I view it, and the court may view it differently, but I view bucket of a statement against interest. It's part and parcel of that.
Let me listen to it.
There we go. All right. Yeah. Double tap that screen for me. Double screen. Y'all watching the Young Dog trial, part 3. Wiretaps, man. The wiretap series, y'all. It's crazy so far, man. These fucker listen to you on the phone, watch you do what you do in the trial. I gotta watch out for Rico, man. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure all your notifications are on so you can be notified every time I go live. Are we waiting on somebody gonna hit the play button? Like, what we doing? And y'all know my luck. As soon as I hit fast forward, it's gonna be too damn far. Let me do this. Now you would think now that they doing all this.
yeah, man.
Oh, there we
On
go.
right there. Yeah, man. Thursday. He probably be back already. Though. He probably, I thought he said he was on bull. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you don't want to put them perks on your page, bro? Put what perk? Perks I got. You want to post? I post on. Nah, I know you not. I don't never. My shit never for Instagram, bro. For real. Bro, I always post perks shit. My shit never sell for Instagram. Boy, I don't read that type of shit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, my shit never sell for Instagram. Like,
Not saying that. That's saying if he doing that shit, bro.
he was doing that shit. Some folks will be, they'll be hit when the motherfuckers gone and shit. Like,
Yeah.
the motherfuckers gone.
Yeah. That's
You
all
nigga get the
Uh-huh.
big in that hoes and get the riding by where you be at and shit for the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I supposed to know. Somebody might bite. Goddamn.
Damn, man, I don't pick it.
Your Honor, upon further consideration, the state cannot play this.
Okay.
I'm thinking through what Mr. Shart said and my thoughts, and so
All right. Okay, so that's the end of the Garlington wiretap, I believe. And who's the second wiretap?
Antonio Sumlin, he's in a little different category because he's someone the state intends on calling at trial.
Okay,
So, I mean,
so do we need to address this right now, or?
I don't believe we do, Your Honor, because a lot of his call, I mean, there is some that I believe are co-conspirator statements, but He's also a testifying witness, so some of these are going to be more in impeachment.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, basically,
Any particular objections to the subject of these calls? So. it
okay,
can't
so
hurt to-
I guess maybe we'll find that out first. So these 9 calls that might potentially get offered. There are going to be objections to the substance within them, or
I understand what we're saying is it's kind of like the Quindarius Zachary prior statements where going to seek to admit these, but just as impeachment, we just want to know if the subject matters are off limits in our view. Is that?
so I think so. I guess if they end up being offered, is there going to be some, assuming they would be properly offered, there's some other objection?
And Your Honor, say, just to make it, we should probably proceed as if we're going to offer them, because even if this is testifying, they are still admissible co-conspirator statements. So rather than those two together,
Okay.
we'll treat them like we're just going to offer these 9.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back. Let's take 10 minutes back at 3 and tackle these.
I know it, y'all. Let's see how that went. Oh, okay.
All right, let's at least keep plugging along. These Sumlin 9 wiretap portions, is there a defense objection to? I mean, if so, which?
We almost out of here, but is it me or y'all getting the vibe that nobody, and I'm talking about nobody on no side, is into this trial anymore? This trial has, I feel like, sucked the energy out of these folks, man. It's so low energy in that courtroom. I'm surprised I mean, how could you doze off doing your own life, your life trial? But Lord,
That means there's no objection.
I wouldn't go to sleep on these folk neither. But man,
Testifying, then how are they both admitted?
801D2E, i.e. 801D2.
make sure I'm just gonna slide through. Make sure they ain't no clips that we got to listen to. Then after that, I'm go. We out of here.
In a relatively short span of time.
Are better as impeachment.
Okay, so that would just
Take us down to the
need
next.
to be with at the time, I guess, but I guess.
Nah, don't.
No, I don't know where yo at. We don't figure yo.
Man, I thought it was over with, y'all. Hold on.
We would need to play the entirety of the call.
Here we go.
Under these circumstances, it would be, these are questions we'd ask the witness.
Okay, so that would just
Take us down to the
need
next.
to be dealt with at the time, I guess, but I guess if he doesn't say those things, then that is available
Right. Yeah, that.
for impeachment and potentially substantive.
So this is what I gather from all of this, y'all. Co-conspirators could be anybody. They could be your brother, your sister, your hairdresser, your plug, your what's at work.
Who's Yayo?
These folk have capabilities beyond what we know. You got to know that. But the stuff that we do know, you would
Yayo
think
is YSL member Eric Moore.
okay.
And on this call,
Well, let me.
Mr. Sum speaking with Christian Eppinger on a contraband phone, obviously an indicted co-conspirator. The state would playing this call for the court is.
And see, the thing is, every time they talk about contraband phone, we got to remember every time they say that these people are talking on contraband phone, that lets you know they're not talking on the jail phone, y'all. These conversations ain't phones. these conversations on cellular phones and tablets or whatever you call it, and they have wiretaps. So here's the thing, y'all. How do y'all think that work, man? How y'all think? Ask yourself that. How does that work? And that because in order for it to work, mean the phone. They don't come and do the raid just like the dude. Some way he knew when they coming to do the raid, but you got to know that phones are in facilities. So here's the thing: at what point and who phones and who gets their phone confiscated, or do y'all think they should confiscate all the phones? No inmate should have a phone, right? Because this is how I look at it. If they gonna turn a blind eye, then how could it be used against you, even if it is a contraband? It's a contraband phone that doesn't supposed to be there, and they are using this against people, y'all. It's right here. Let's go.
Health or argument, and the state feels it's important to play this call.
Okay.
You know the phone's in there. Watch the people get green lighted. Watch the what you call it, whoop de woos. Allegedly.
Hello. Hello. What's up, baby? Hey, bro. Hey, what, you with that nigga Yayo? I ain't got. Nah, I ain't with baby. You got blue. All right. Nah, I said Yayo. Nah, I don't know where Yayo at. I ain't with no fucking Yayo. I with him yesterday. Yeah, tell Yayo do something to him. I can't wait to tell him. Yeah, tell him to do something to him. What? I ain't even gonna. Huh? What the hell that nigga did? No, you know that's what I'm talking about. That shit. You know that's what I'm talking about. That shit with Lionheart. No, I ain't talking about that, but that too. You telling on you? No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you know. I said you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You was there with him, right? Yeah, I was there with him. I don't know. What you talking? No. Huh? What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about, baby. Man, they just told me I just took a little folk shit, man. Oh, the little light skin? Yeah. Did it. What's going on, man? That's the folk, man. What'd you say, Brick? No, they're my folks. I ain't man, listen here, bro. I ain't nigga locked up, bro. So niggas feel like they try and fight me, bro. But I ain't going for that, bro.
Man, it's getting hot on the call, man. Hotline. Do you hear that hotline bling right now, man? That man, look, buddy on the phone don't even know he got asked a trick question. Buddy on the phone, he got asked a trick question. He asked the question that he knew the answer to see how he gonna respond to the question. And then once he got his answer, he let him know that let Buddy know. Yeah. And then he say, well, but wasn't you with Buddy? If he already gave his message about Buddy and then he letting you know, but wasn't you with Buddy, you think you don't get the same message? Or he ain't catch the memo? Let's go.
I ain't going for that, bro. If I have to become out, that's what I do. They ain't gonna be trying my folks, bro. That shit over with. I'm saying, bro. Nigga already ain't fuck with me. Nigga not fucking with nigga, like nigga anymore. Fuck nigga ain't sending nigga a dollar. Nigga ain't gonna be taking shit from my folks. They be sending me something, bro. I just got out, bro. I took something from him too. So what you saying? You said what? I said I took something from nigga too. So what you saying? You ain't doing what I just said. You said yeah.
you gon' do when the pressure on? Fans listen and it's tap you dead wrong.
Hey, yo. I know you. I just said, you know what I'm talking about? That's why I called your phone. You said what? That's why I called your phone. I know you. Yeah, that's why I just asked you to do it. Yeah, nah, hell no. That shit ain't smooth, bro. Are you the same one that did that the money too, bro? You said what? You the same one? Bro, I ain't trying to talk over the phone, bro. No, I ain't trying to. I'm not money. So what you saying? So what you saying? You want me to give him that back? What? Never. They don't go to church. What I'm saying, bro. Listen, I'm not talking about money. Fuck money. Yeah, but see, try to get the collection on Yayo, and I did it. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, but there he riding around somebody looking for me. Man, on my side, bro. Listen. Who you think that man like that, bro? That's what I'm telling you, bro. I he like, bro. So you folks ain't got man. I'm like, he just told me, I'm like, man, hell. Bitch ass, but all the reason why niggas yell shit out there, because he don't know what's up with that nigga ass, bro. Bitch ass nigga, he can be out here just doing shit like he just went the game, fuck nigga, he chilling. Yeah. Come on, bro. Hey, so shit go left, nigga, tell on you. Hey, when you talk to him, tell that nigga call my phone. We can meet up. I want to get him the business. I know that's your folks now, bro. I know that's your folks now, bro. But out there riding around talking about you looking for me. Nigga, I'm at the Chevron, or whatever you with. Hey, Obama. So you telling me, if a nigga do that, you ain't gonna be looking for him? You said what? You gonna go look for him? I'm gonna be in it. Yeah, I'm looking for him, but I'm. Well, listen though, I just don't know him. What you do, yo? Obama, that time he like, bro, he like shit. That's fucked up. But nah, man. I feel where you coming from, bro. I didn't know you fuck with that little nigga like that, but I ain't getting shit back, bro. That shit crazy, bro. This thing that me running around anymore. Ain't nobody.
What you mean you can't get back, bro?
I ain't talking about you, Obama. I ain't talking about you. I know you did that. I just got to that. I ain't know you did. I thought you still like that. Man, man. When you talk to Sean, that's how they hit my phone, man.
Damn. And them folk just listening. Just to listening.
Okay, is that the entirety of it? Okay. And so.
Shit, I swear to God.
Objection on the floor is relevant.
So these folk just been listening to these calls.
Yes, that is in 403.
And I ain't gonna lie, like I feel
honest,
like they staging the people where they want them so they can do what they do,
but in all
and they can build
I
a
don't
case.
even know what they're talking about.
That's
So
what I'm getting.
I guess that's a good
all
start
these
for relevance,
investigators
but,
and
if the state
immunity going on.
I'd be able to respond.
These folks talking about they talking on contraband
play
phone, got hours and
1052
days
from
of
the beginning.
conversation.
It
So
will
y'all
give
know they
context
had
to
the phone.
why Christian Eppinger is discussing Yayo the way that he is. And it's a call that is, so on this other call, this is my notes.
You got another
one that we
call?
have not played.
Another.
It's stating, you know that boy Yayo. Why you say that? Quay called him from jail and they said something about he locked up for murder because Yayo told on him. Everyone in the neighborhood's telling me that. And the guy's like, I didn't know that, man. I swear to God. I don't believe him because Unfunk, who's Mr. Greer, told him that they just got off the phone with Quay. I don't know how true it was. Bree, the one starting all that rumor. And then he says, I don't know. I talked to him myself. I just seen him in Unfunk myself like last night. So I believe that Christian Eppinger is talking to Antonio someone about that because of this rumor that Yayo was snitching. I don't have any evidence that Yayo was actually snitching, but the reason why I had initially included, we whittled some of these down. You kind of, this call doesn't make it really any sense without the context of this conversation. PDF page 1052, which is 7th at 11:14 a.m. This call is April 7th at 1:53 p.m. So they're a couple hours apart. May do because I think it's dispositive of, or not dispositive, but very relevant to the court's necessary for the court's ruling to play 1052. I'm going to start at the beginning because my notes have this coming up quite quickly in that call.
Rose, what's up, brother? Who you with? I call my girl on the way. Wait. Man, I'm in the car, but tell them why. You know, you went up there when Yayo was mad tonight. B-Bean said he snitched and shit. Nah, I went up there. Yeah, he was like, man, B-Bean saying I snitched. Don't wait and this, that, and third. But I tell you what, Tay came there and said the same thing. You know, Tay who you are, he came to AJ last night. He was like, man, y'all know that boy Yayo. I said, why you say that? He said, man, Quay called me from jail and said they blocked him. Like, they said something about he locked up for murder because Yayo told on him. Yeah, you know everybody in the neighborhood told me that. Maybe I told me tell me that. I ain't know that, man. You ain't know that for real? I don't like. Swear to God, bro. Yeah, everybody telling me that. I don't believe it though. Cause they told her that they had them dig out of the phone with Quay. I don't know how true it is, but they kept saying Bree the one who's starting out that room. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm talking to him myself. Late last night, I'm talking to him. Are you pulled up to the store last night? Nah, we was at Wing and Seafood, and Uncle tonight he's gonna go back to LA. So what? He's my feature.
So, Your Honor, that was the portion which that portion we just played is at 7:14 a.m. on April 7th, and the one we just discussed was at 1:53 p.m. In the states, I believe, if the court deems 1066 admissible, need to have that brief portion from 1052 to have context to why both Antonio Sumlin and Christian Eppinger on a contraband jail phone both indicted YSL co-conspirators and the RICO on this case are, and Eppinger's discussing that way. I mean, discussing Yayo about that in those terms. And it furthers the conspiracy by keeping abreast of, obviously, if you want to know that, and two, it's how they're discussing this. And it reinforces the solidarity between each other, specifically Eppinger and Sumlin. And of course, snitching, or if someone, that term has came up and will come up a multitude of times in this trial in a number of different ways.
Your Honor, may I ask a question of the state? Who do you believe to be, like, we're kind of going back to the first call now. Who do you believe to be Quay?
Okay, but y'all aren't intending to introduce the first call, right?
Well, with this whittled down list, we did not. I quite frankly believe that may have been an error because the context of Eppinger speaking with Sumlin about Yayo makes no sense if you don't hear this conversation about the rumor that he is.
So we need to add that back in.
Yes, Your Honor. It's the first minute of this PDF page 1052 call, or 1 minute and 50 seconds because it's still on display on the screen.
So does it matter who they believe Quay is?
It does to me, Your Honor, and it's two Quays here.
Yeah.
But my stance, my belief is that that initial call and the context I have is Bree is the source of this information. I believe I know who he is that this Quay is neither of these two individuals and is a separate Quay that is not even alleged. I've never seen alleged to be associated with YSL. So if that's the first call that gives the context, then the second call, Mr. Eppinger is ranting to someone who seems to be thoroughly confused by the whole situation about someone named Yayo, who's not mentioned in our discovery at all, other than this this wiretap. So he's obviously a very tangential part of whatever we're Yayo supposedly snitching on Quay. Now, I do believe that a relevance determination depends on what he's supposedly snitching on and who the Quay is. And I get, generally, or not generally, but sometimes we say, well, that's a jury question. The state, in my mind, before putting up all these statements, need to know what these people are talking about before putting in front of the jury as just a baseline question. And I don't believe, unless the state can prove to me or show me that I'm wrong, I don't believe that the Quay that's even being discussed in either of these calls is anyone associated with this case or anyone sitting in this court.
Your Honor, I do not know specifically. So I don't know specifically which Quay they're talking about. I know that I don't have any information from Atlanta Police Department of the person they believe is Yayo providing a statement to them. So I don't know exactly what they're saying he snitched on in terms of if they're talking about one of the Quays in this trial or another Quay. I do not, to answer Mr. Sharp's question or the courts, if the court's inquiring, I do not know if they're referring to the murder of drinks or some other act. I don't. So I want to make that clear. The state's intent with this call was to enforce how they discuss, the snitching tenant in YSL. If someone's snitching, they want to find out about it. And, Eppinger clearly wants to exact violence on this person if he believes he's snitching. I'm trying to think through in my mind, quite frankly, with, if this nickname instead of Quay was Bob, it would not create any confusion. The state's position a couple hours apart. So I don't, other than what I proffered to the court, I don't have any other additional information about.
Oh yeah, no, but
Yeah, tell them to do something.
other than talking about, and maybe it's not relevant if it doesn't have to do with him being mad at that.
Hello? Hello? Yo, what's up, baby? Hey, bro. Hey, what, you with that nigga Yayo? I ain't got. Nah, I ain't with baby. You got blue. All right. Nah, I said Yayo. Nah, I don't know where Yayo at. I ain't with no fucking Yayo. I was with him yesterday. Yeah, tell Yayo I'm do something to him. I can't wait to tell him. Yeah, tell him I'm do something to him. Quit that, honey. What? I ain't even gonna, huh? What the hell that nigga did? No, that's what I'm talking about. That shit, that's what I'm talking about. That shit was Lionheart. No, I ain't talking about that, but that too. He telling on you? No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, I said, what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You just with him. Yeah, I was just with him. I don't know. Oh, you took. Huh? What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about, baby. Man, they just told me I just took a little shit, man. Oh, the little light skin? Yeah. Did it? What'd you say, Bree? No, they're my folks. I ain't man, listen here, bro. I ain't gonna nigga locked up, bro. So niggas feel like they try any type way, bro. But I ain't going for that, bro. I ain't going for that, bro. If I have to become out, that's what I do. Nigga ain't gonna be trying my folks, bro. That shit over with. I'm saying, Bree. Nigga already ain't fucking with nigga. Nigga not fucking with nigga. What nigga ain't motherfucker? Nigga ain't setting nigga a dollar. Nigga ain't gonna be taking shit to my folks. Nigga sending me something, bro. I just got out, bro. I took something from him too. So what you saying? You said what? I said. So what you saying? You ain't doing what I just said. Yeah, yo. So I said, I know you. I just said, you know what I'm talking about? That's why I called your phone. You said what? That's why I called your phone. I know you. Yeah, that's why I said, ask you to do it again. Yeah, nah. Are you the same? That shit ain't moving, bro. Are you the same one that did that money too, bro? You said what? You the same one? Bro, I ain't trying to talk on the phone, bro. No, I ain't putting out money. I'm not putting out money. Fuck. So what you saying? So to get him that back?
Did he just call him? Is it phone? Allegedly, though, is this threat on the phone? Is it a threat? It's no longer.
Wait, see. Yo, and I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, but
Then he riding around talking about he looking for me. Man, on my side, bro.
listen. Who you think got the man like that, Obama, bro? That's what I'm telling you, bro. He called, I just talked to him, bro. He like, bro, you folks ain't got nothing, bro. I'm like, well, what you talking about? He just told me, I'm like, man, hell no. But yeah, yo, bro. But all the reason why niggas Yayo still out there, bro, because he don't know what's up there, bro. He out here just doing shit like he just went the game, fuck nigga, he chilling.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Hey, when you talk to him, tell that nigga, we can meet up. I can order him the business. I know that's your folks now, bro. I know that's your folks now, bro. But all that round around talking about you looking for me, nigga, I'm at the Chevron.
Hey, Obama. So you telling me if a nigga do that, you ain't gonna look for him?
You said what?
So the nigga do something, you not gonna go look for him?
I'm gonna be hell yeah, I'm gonna look for him, but
I just told him, I don't give a fuck what you do, yeah, yo. Obama, like, shit, that's fucked up. But, nah.
It sounded like somebody about to get baptized, man.
I feel where you come from. I ain't know you fuck with that little nigga like that, but I ain't getting shit back, bro.
Allegedly.
That shit crazy, bro. This same nigga that's in city man around anymore. Ain't nobody send niggas nothing. They gonna take some that crazy.
Yeah, I just got out.
I ain't talking about you, Obama. I ain't talking about you. I know you just got out. I just found out you got today. I ain't know you got.
When you talk to Sean, that's how they hit my phone.
All right.
Hey, Cutthroat
So,
Bennett.
Your Honor, after listening, I never thought he was talking about a robbery, but when Mr. Short said that and re-listened it now, I thought it was tethered to the call earlier. I listened to back, but I can miss stuff. And so I agree with Mr. Short that it does sound like he's more tethered to someone robbing from a friend or family while locked. What I will say in relation to this call, which may never have to come up, asked Antonio someone about speaking with Christian Eppinger while, from either a contraband phone or I don't know who he is. I have no idea. I've never talked to him, that kind of thing. May play a portion of this. But
I tell y'all what,
not play.
next week gonna be
I thought they were together.
next week gonna be on fire. You hear me?
All right, so then
Y'all make sure I hit that subscribe button. And if you're new to the channel,
we're originally discussing
turn all your
and I
notifications
guess
on and get the alerts, man. Every time I do one of these lives.
So, Your Honor, for 1052,
That's crazy, man.
the state cannot play. I mean, on the one hand, the way that they're discussing this, the reason I hesitate, like in terms of the way that they're discussing the rumors of a person snitching on someone else, but given
because they're saying, well, I mean that too, but it's not really that we're calling about.
Correct,
so.
Your Honor. So at this point, the state does not intend to play 1052.
All right. So we all on the same page on
So
this?
you're not gonna play that, and that's why I say what I say, y'all, because
13.
it's stuff that you'll get to hear on this day, but this you're not gonna even hear it no more. They're not gonna play it. So, but we already seeing how next week gonna be looking. These guys been talking reckless on the phone, to say the least, and it's just one of those things where your voice being used against you, man. So I'm pretty interested to see how they gonna react to this. I hope they don't do it like they did Woody and ask questions that they know the answers to, knowing they got the recordings. They should just slap the recordings on the stage, let the person hear what they got, and then go from there. That's just how I feel.
1380 reference 1384, page 1394. Dorsey, who is at this point an unindicted co-conspirator, right?
Unindicted.
We dismissed against Mr. Dorsey.
Right.
So he's right.
But you would.
What?
Are you still maintaining he's
definitely a
co-conspirator?
yes.
Okay. All right.
And see, that's what I'm saying, man. This justice, and see, in order to get justice, sometimes you gotta they gotta give some of the folks back to the streets, because they doing all of this and all of that. They knowing what's going on with these folks. But why do y'all think they take and get these folk back to the street? Y'all know why? Because they working. They working, man. That's just my opinion, allegedly.
Someone on a call, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And this particular portion, so yeah, and Mr. Dorsey, given that we've dismissed his charges after his recent trial, portions of this call are captured in the indictment as I think count 56, and it's also alleged as an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy itself, count 1. So both Mr. Dorsey and Mr. Sumlin are co-conspirators with the defendants on trial as to count 1. And this particular call furthers the conspiracy. I think it would be best for the court to hear the call before we make the argument. And if that's okay with the court, and to hear the specific objections before I just start narrating about our position, if that's okay with the court.
Okay, so sure, that's fine. We've got a relevance and a 403 and then a Dorsey hearsay objection. And I'm sure I'll listen to the portions that y'all intend to play.
Thank you.
Man, these folks got a lot of I told you Woody alone. I think he about to play it. Woody alone had how much? I feel like a week worth of interrogation footage, man. A week's worth, man.
We're pulling it up.
They pulling it up right now. We about to get into more of these wiretaps. Goddamn wiretaps, man.
Hello, this is a free call from
All right. Sorry, know who this is. Shout it out.
an incarcerated individual at the Cobb County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe Securus, you may start the conversation now.
What the hell's that happening?
Hello.
Yo,
I don't know what the hell's that happened. Phone hang up.
you still in the car?
I'm in the car with 2 people.
What the fuck? What's the fuck though?
Nah, he beat us out our money. He beat me on phone and trouble about our money. He got down. Whole time. Can't get on that.
I don't know. I can't wait to slide out that shit. I'm trying to go punch shit up. So like 1, 2, all that.
Man, I ain't got no
I need like a $250,000 show.
Go get it soon. You come home, bro.
I know it's show.
I already know, bro. I need your book out you, bro.
I ain't gonna count, but I ain't here, show. No count, bro. Cause it like
I phone expect you every day, bro. My phone expect you every day.
What you say, please?
I said my phone expect.
Come here. Who? Your girl? She ain't seen no nigga like me, shout. I keep that shit there all the way through, and then she ain't been handing shit. I ain't doing no begging, none of that shit. I got dumb on too, man.
But my girlfriend, my girlfriend tripping, bro.
I'm on the phone with you.
Nah, they poo.
Poo act like they tell poo chill, man. Look like for real, man. Man, realize you on that interview. Be on that interview, man. Like for real, so how this OL shit go, man. Check with the line, man. Tell them how this OL shit go. All right. Shit go on, buddy. Yo, what? My trade.
That shit ain't longer than mine, nigga.
I said, question, boy. Yeah, your shit probably a little bit longer than mine.
My shit 5 years.
Your shit not no 5 years, bro.
My shit down my back. I ain't come my house since I got out of prison.
All right, well look though. Child.
Yeah.
Yo, your shit long.
That shit long as hell. I shit down my back. Man, I can't wait.
You got this shit on.
Do I?
We're playing portions that the dreads part, that part is not necessary to put in this particular part. We're going to keep playing it, but I understand that some of the portions we take out, but we're going to just play it for context.
Okay.
That's who are they? Man, I told me to come in. I'm gonna get out of their car, man. Cause they tripping.
What they come out?
I ain't over here though. I ain't man.
What people come out?
Your name, no, any girl named Beautiful. She ugly though.
How the hell she get the name Beautiful?
I don't know how she get the name Beautiful.
She need to get that name back to whoever Beautiful. Hey, Bruce. That's Beautiful, child, because you don't need that one.
I don't know. I call her ugly.
Boy, I done had Boulay on your ass. I done had Boulay been on your ass, boy.
Who?
Boulay?
Why you got the phone?
I'm out. I'm like,
Boulay been on your ass, boy.
What?
I done had Boulay trying to find out where the hell. I done where the fuck Obama at, man. Find this nigga ass. We don't know where the fuck Obama at. We ain't seen Obama in so goddamn long.
I been locked up. You need to tell Slime. You need to tell Slack. Start out their business, bro. If I do something to him, boy.
I can't tell Slack nothing. Now, he just told me to slam, robbing the slams out there. So I'm like, I need to holler at Obama so I can let Obama know the goddamn stand down. So he got too much going on. But now, you telling me it did nigga ass. You feel me? I don't. Shit, I've been knowing you before Slack. You feel me?
Yeah, I already know.
I bought head with Slack. I ain't bought head with you. I bought head with Slack. I done dropped down. You feel me?
We'll never bought head.
You feel me?
Bro, we'll fight one-on-one. We'll fight one-on-one for bought head, bro.
I wouldn't even fight you, Sal.
I wouldn't even fight you though. I swear to God.
I wouldn't even fight you, bro. I
tell every nigga, bro, the situation. I'm like, the day I met Polo, my mama died, bro. Trying to pull me to the side, talk to me, put some sense into my head. We've been rocking ever since, bro.
Ever since. It's just been a rock.
It's
been a rock since then. Ain't been no collisions or none of that.
None of that, bro. It'll never be.
Cause it's how we rock, Sal. We got a different vibe. Nigga, how we carry ourselves.
Yeah.
We wear down, and we wear down. Every time I'm trying to wear down, then we wear that shit down. Like, hey, man. You done had my shoes on, I had those shoes on. Fuck you.
Come on, bro. You know I love you. I never forget the phone pilot. Black and gold.
No phone pilots and no all red swell.
Yeah, for sure. I love you.
I love you too, man.
I love you like a motherfucker, bro. I'm my mama's soul.
I'm talking about to the point we like fuck.
Yeah, for sure. So,
pardon me right quick, man. Pardon me right. Stand right here. Right here. I ain't thinking out the phone. I'm going to see between walks. Stand right here.
All right. That'll be girl. That. Need something funny. Let's take these in. 16. Step up about 16.
We're going to skip to 8. So you're on.
Gotta be back.
We stopped at 6:42. I believe we're just going to skip forward to 8:05.
Wait, he leaves soon as why they talking to the ain't nothing to talk about. What I'm saying? What they talk about? I'm saying it's not here too, babe. Don't mind even talk about this talking business. Yo.
What the hell going?
We made that nigga pull back up though.
Y'all made who pull back up?
No, nigga, we been beefing with shit, kill them. So goddamn.
Shit. Oh yeah, the 9 do nigga.
Yo.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't need. Huh?
Shit, kill some out.
You know, he working shit out here though. I ain't gonna lie about that. Huh? Yeah, he out in the business, bro.
All right, so you just need to stay out the way, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. I already know you.
I'm handling business too.
I already know how you coming, shot. I know, but that shit got down. What dog got going on, bro?
No, he don't say that though.
Oh.
You ready about everything?
Huh?
What dog got going on?
Shit, scary ass him in LA.
What the hell, Del Greg? Del Greg ain't scary enough. Del Greg the real one.
He down here. Yeah, alum.
Del Greg and alum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that shit getting serious here.
Nicole.
Hey.
Man, them are so lit out here, so I can't wait till you get home, bro.
You got some gas on you, Shadow?
Mm-hmm.
Man, roll up a blunt for me, Shadow.
I'm finna do that. I don't even smoke. I'm finna do that right now, I swear to God.
Roll up a blunt for me, Shadow. Don't
hey, roll up.
You
got blood?
That shit.
You got blood?
That blow that shit.
You got blood, V? You got blood, V? Roll up the weed. My brother said, smoke one for
Yeah, I
me.
just smoked that shit, man. I smoked one of the motherfuckers. I've been locked up 2 years, man. On baddies, on baddies, on baddies, on baddies. I got more baddies than a goddamn household, shout.
So, Your Honor, this is with Mr. Dorsey in jail talking to Mr. Sumlin. These are two co-conspirators of the defendants here. The conversation is intended to foster reassurance and cohesion with a YSL associate, or a co-conspirator rather, who is in jail, not able to know what all is going on. The most pertinent part of what we heard was, one of the more pertinent parts was Mr. Sumlin actually telling Mr. Dorsey that Onfon asks about him every day. He says it more than once, but then when Mr. Dorsey says, "Who your girl?" and then they start joking about what his girl feels about Mr. Dorsey and dreads. So that area from about 2 minutes, 4, I think it was about 4, paused and put a pin in it for the dreads part. That we would need to play. But the portion where he's talking about slimes and slats and Mr. Sumlin, that he's one YSL associate, and their conversation about that knowledge, we believe, is part of Mr. Sumlin, Mr. Dorsey giving Mr. Sumlin what information he has, Mr. Sumlin sort of being reassuring, essentially, family fighting, but they go on to talk about how they rock, how they are close, nevertheless, regardless of the squabbles internally. Down from where he gets on and says, "Stay right here," and he sort of starts talking to someone else from that point till he comes back on the phone saying that he is faced with Kale. Then Mr. Sumlin goes on to tell Mr. Dorsey that we've been shell killing them, and Mr. Dorsey is saying, 9 ends, what Shell Kale talking about? This is Mr. Sumlin apprising Mr.
All right, y'all. We heard
Even if he has some kind of
what our own ears. We don't need her
respect
to.
for the game. Some of what I
It's
specifically asked.
Thing that this call may do is show that Dorsey. Well,
Yeah, I know they ain't
does
gonna like
do is
this
show
call.
that Dorsey and know each other, and at least they heard of or are familiar with the people that are Unfon and Mr. Williams. I'm not sure how personally familiar, but at this point,
Count 55, with the where Mr. Dorsey and Mr. conspiracy to commit the offense of murder.
Which is not is it also an act?
All of the counts are also acts.
Okay.
And the date is the 15th.
Okay, well, there already. It's clearly relevant. I don't think I actually heard objection when y'all were through the list the first time. This one also seems relevant, and I think the only before. I don't think I heard.
so
Obviously, it's going to be to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that any of this drug dealing was in furtherance of the gang.
Yeah, that's what without a reasonable doubt.
Argue
They
it
can
whether
argue.
they
The judge don't even.
convince the jury
I
of
don't
that
like.
or not. I don't know.
Oh no,
Their evidence is not particularly strong. that I've seen.
We kind of
Slug
went.
spot. I think it gives context to Mr. Sumlin's response.
Okay, and then does that color?
Let me see.
He was like, they tried to put him on the door and all that.
Man,
He said
come
gang tag for
on, man. You would think it was enough.
It was someone talking.
I don't have the notes for the part that the state would be asking Mr. Sumlin, and if necessary, in this portion.
All right, I mean, I would think that would be in context, and that's 339 Georgia App 95 was, so.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, it's 3995. It's a case where they played informant, and they objected because, again, the other person on the line who wasn't the defendant in this case wasn't testifying. And I read this case to basically hold for, in certain contexts, like this is a perfect example. Recording, and you need to have the context. You're not offering the other person's words for the truth of the matter asserted. Like the state's not offering this was his old spot for the truth. It's because Antonio Sumlin responds yes, but it's not slug spot anymore. Sumlin will be testifying.
Okay. All right, our next one is 2712, page 2752. Who is he talking to? Who is someone talking to?
I don't have the notes for. I don't have a note for who Mr. Sumlin's talking with this. I will try to find that out. I don't know who the other called party is on this call.
Okay. Do you allege it to be an uninvited co-conspirator?
Nature of this, so
The context.
I think this is one that very much we need to play,
Okay.
address arguments on related to it.
And would you intend this one to come in regardless or just for impeachment?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe this would one that would
Come in.
probably both, but yes, if for some reason the state wasn't able to ask the right questions to get this in as impeachment, it's both.
Okay.
Yo, gang. Yo, by Mitsubishi, I hear. I know. Listen, man, I just got a phone with the boy Woody, right? Yeah. Woody just coming down the road, right? So boom, they did jump on him. They did that. But he was like, they tried to said the game tag before came and talked to him and all that shit. So he thought, man, and long story short, he based on some, bro. That YSL shit over with, bro. Niggas started that shit so fucking hot right now, bro. You like, bro, you gonna go to jail, bro. Niggas jail, bro. Them folks up. He's more than we on the street. Yeah. Freelancing. They know because them folks man, right. Bro, they really got to backstage this shit for a little bit, like really not even like not I'm not giving up on game, period. Just like it's so much going on this shit, bro. Like, bro, it's so much going on, bro. Like yeah, it's a lot going on with that shit, bro. Yeah, I think they got filed back. That's how they got kind of filed back, but there's so much going on. Like I talked to Woody, he called me, he like 3 niggas done push up on me, talking about your name, talking about boy, I'm on the vape, Woody, them folks pushing up on Woody, them folks trying to get some straightening down there about y'all, you feel me? Because I jumped on that. I'm like, bro, y'all need to eat anything that's pop, you feel me? Yeah. Them folks pushing up on Woody, so Woody finally called like, hell, he like, boy, I'm proud of you. Boy, I'm like, what? He was like, boy, hey man, you standing on business, you feel me? So I go on tell him about you. I'm like, man, I'm standing on. He was like, oh yeah, shout out 1-1. I'm like, yeah, that's my man, you feel me? Yeah. Yeah, though, but I was just telling him how niggas put up, niggas died for it. Man, he say, babe, bro, I know that, bro. You like, bro, niggas like everybody ain't like that, bro. Like, you know, Woo really sit down and listen to me. Shout really smart.
Yeah.
Shout very intelligent, like, and he knowing something like, you know, but that shit hot right now. They just, bro, like this. Like, I know he's basically like, bad y'all nigga want to go do something, but you can't right now. He said it's impossible. He said it's impossible. He said, yeah, gonna end up in jail too. He said because they watching. When you think they ain't watching, he said they own nigga ass, bro.
Yeah,
So
right.
you gotta chill, bro. Just tell Game and tell Rose them to chill. You feel me? Tell Chad them to chill for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They tell nigga backstage, bro. Like just chill and just lay low. You feel me? Until it's time. You know what I'm saying? Time for everything.
Yeah, they about to lay low. Lead about end of June. I'm finna say beginning of June, but shit, June about 30 days away.
Yeah, June about 30 days. 30 days. Nah, about 2 months. I get 2 months because
that's why I said. I said I was finna say June, but I was June just 30 days.
No, listen. I'm still coming around. I ain't
Shit, me too.
I'm just finna. I'm finna go listen. I'm finna stop.
Niggas just gotta move. Niggas just gotta move better, bro. And start posting just like miscellaneous.
Nigga gotta stop posting this shit. Nigga can't post no YSL and
shit like that.
Yeah, but nigga know what's up. Everybody know what's up. I'm finna start right here and grab this food stamp card, and I'm finna ride to my house. Then I'm gonna pull up on your spot, bro. I'm pull up on you today, bro.
All right, so come on.
All right, bro.
If you come straight here, bro,
I'm bringing your ID today. That's why they told you I'm finna go to the house and get your ID and come straight to you. All right.
It's we in the streets with it. These YouTube streets. Let's build it. Content after content. We on the block. Lego. And as a daily reminder, hit that like and subscribe so you can get the vibes, you know it, and notified every time. Let ride. Sweet.
Is that not?
I don't think so. Isn't it? Is it the unidentified person that says what Woody said, or is it someone that says what Woody said?
So, Your Honor, it is the individual. We think possibly it's somebody that goes by the name Baby because of what's said in this call. But to answer the court's question, he says the mail that Antonio someone's speaking with says, "I just got off the phone with Woody, who's Mr. Copeland."
All right. Okay.
So my understanding of 801D2E is the declarant needs to be a member of the conspiracy.
I can't hear you. I mean, I can hear you, but I don't know if everybody can hear you.
My understanding of 801D2E is the declarant, not necessarily the receiver, but the declarant needs to be a member of the conspiracy.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I had their two voices mixed, I guess. I thought it was someone saying, hey, here's all this stuff I know, and the caller, or I mean the other person that was just basically, for a lot of the time, saying, and then finally talking at the end. But I guess that was the flip. Right?
Your Honor, I apologize. Somebody was speaking. I was speaking with co-counsel. And not hear the court. I apologize.
Ooh-wee. That 2 hours went quick, y'all. Hey, salute.
Hey,
do me a favor, double tap that screen. Everybody in the building, double tap that screen. If you made it this far, man, I appreciate you for rocking. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, we have to chill on this.
It's been a lot to unpack on this live, y'all.
Your Honor,
I think the takeaway.
So it depends on what comment. So, for example,
our takeaway from this live, y'all. I don't care if they got more. We heard enough. That's enough for one live. Stay off them damn phones, man. Stay off them damn phones. If you got somebody behind that wall, take what you know or what you done seen today into consideration, and just be careful on them damn phones, man. Yeah, man. They definitely watching, y'all. Fair use. Everything is fair use, y'all. We appreciate you for sliding up on us today, man. Rocking with us, man. Rocking all the way out with us, man. We really do. And until next time, y'all stay safe out there already.
Golf. Swear it got me taking off. My pockets fat like Rick Ross. I got your bitch, she taking off.
Walk up, I'ma run down. That's a man down. Cash route like the cash out, I'ma cash out. How you know when they leech? Cause they hands out.
Eating cheese out the mouse trap, he a rat now. For the
Real talk, what you gon' do when the pressure on?
Got real brothers coming home by the max out.
Fans listening, this tap you dead wrong. Real no talk, niggas, like they money. Bitch, I'm plugged in, I get back in, you can run through your house, yeah, like a all night, baby, I've been hustling. All night, baby, I've been hustling. All night,
I've been grinding and hustling, trying to keep the money coming.
I'm real dope boy shit, I love that money motion. I'm outside early in the morning, ain't no birds chirping. Everything coming off the scale, you know that clock working. Nigga behave, I'm straight, and that shit monkey.
Got some haters in my circle, don't want to see me make it.
She get wicked in the city, but we live fast.
Yeah, I'm going up like stairs. Freeman and locked up chairs. They act like they was there.
We turn the heat on.
Gotta read your P's and Q's or get left on the news. Gotta pay attention in the trenches. Gotta listen in the trenches. Gotta be aware of your surroundings when you're thugging in.
Stay 10 toes. Big money, it never fold. Niggas gang, you'll get doing low. Street bay, pull up, you a foe. In the hop, I jump like a toad. Backwood, it green like mold. Eliante, dumb, they froze. Thank God for the life I chose. Got the heart of a lion. No, I ain't having no fear.
Shit like a playground. 4-5 on your head, so don't lay down. For the talk out your face, I'ma take your face off. Shot fired at your residence, blow your place off.